So guys, we are super close now to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I'm excited. We're like 2 weeks away. I'm getting stoked. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking about the future of Nintendo going forward. And, you know, also thinking back of the success that the Switch brought to Nintendo. And it got me thinking, and I kind of want to make a claim right now. I kind of want to make a prediction. I think that the Switch 2 will be Nintendo's best-selling console ever. And that's because of the Switch 1. I think that keeping the name Switch was very smart, and adding on a 2 was even smarter. Everybody knows that owns a Nintendo Switch, that knows what a Nintendo Switch is, what the Switch 2 is going to be, right? It's really self-explanatory. It is the next generation Nintendo Switch. And I think that is awesome that Nintendo did that. Now, let's talk about the reveal trailer real quick before we go any further, because the reveal trailer was definitely lackluster, that's for sure. I don't even think they needed to release a reveal trailer. I think they could have just held off and said, okay, a Direct's coming out on this day. Look forward to the next generation Nintendo console. But they had to say something because of all the leaks and rumors out there, and everybody had leaked photos, and so we knew what the console was going to be. We knew that there was magnetic Joy-Cons, and then when Nintendo released the reveal trailer, it was like, yeah, we already knew that. We already knew that. But I mean, it's cool that they confirmed it, but we already knew it. So there was all this hype that was lost, you know. And that's a bummer, because I like watching, you know, Nintendo reveal something secret that no one knows anything about. And they have this like special trailer and they show everything. I really like that. But I think those days are pretty much gone. Well, I mean, there's still some secrets that pop up here and there, but there's so many things that do get leaked online because there's so many people online now, and just, yeah, it gets leaked really easily nowadays. So with that being said, there was a lot of, you know, just lack of excitement coming from Nintendo. But in 2 weeks, we get the Switch 2 Direct finally. And I think there is going to be a huge excitement behind the Switch 2. Because there is so many Switch fans right now, once we see this next console, even if it's just, you know, has just some small new upgrades, like magnetic Joy-Cons, obviously, right? Bigger screen, okay, we know that. You know, more power, okay? We kind of figured it's going to have more power. Even if it's just that, I think there's still going to be a lot of hype. I really do. Because I think that's what gamers want for this next-gen Nintendo console. I think a lot of us are like, well, you know, what about that new thing that Nintendo, like, is innovative and brings to the table, like something new and different that we've never seen before? That they still might do that. We don't know that yet. They still might do that. And Nintendo is known for that. Nintendo is known for being innovative and stepping outside the box and creating something that is like, what? I didn't even know you could do that. You know, I mean, Nintendo is known for that, right? So what are they going to do with the Switch 2? Well, we'll know that in a couple weeks. And I think there will be. I think there will be some sort of gimmick that'll come with the Switch 2. But I don't think that's the main focus here. You know? I don't think that's what's going to take us into a very successful Switch 2. I think that the Switch 2 will be Nintendo's best-selling console ever because of a couple different reasons. One of them mainly being that the Switch 1 is so successful. There's so many great games, so many great publishers and developers that have brought their games on the Nintendo Switch. Just so many. And yes, you can find a lot of these games on other platforms, but people play it on their Switch more than they play it on anywhere else. Anywhere else. On Xbox or PlayStation, anywhere else. Is on Switch. That's where you find the most activity for a lot of these indie developers, like this game right here, that you find more activity on a Nintendo Switch. And now that we're going to get like more power out of the Switch 2, we're going to see games like Call of Duty, you know, the new Doom will come to Switch 2. And it probably get Madden now. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it's going to be a bigger audience. You bring more of these sports games and stuff and Call of Duty over to Switch 2, and they play awesome on there, just like they do on other consoles. There you go. You're adding more gamers to the Switch environment, right? Being that it's already so successful, the Switch 1, being that it's already so successful, and just adding, you know, another iteration of the Switch. I mean, they could have called it a Switch Pro, for goodness sakes. I'm glad they didn't, though. There's a 2 for a reason. There's a number 2 for a reason. Because I think, honestly, we're going to see a couple new gimmicks from Nintendo. I think that we're going to see that button on the right side of the right side Joy-Con, that C button. I think that's going to be a cast button. That's what I think. It's going to be a wireless casting button that you can cast to your dock. So whatever your dock's hooked to, it'll cast the screen there. Also, the magnetic, or excuse me, not the magnetic Joy-Cons, but the mouse-like features that the Joy-Cons will have will bring unique gameplay to some video games on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I think that is going to be pretty freaking awesome. But being that the Switch 1 is so popular, and that almost every household that I go into, because I work in different homes almost every single day, guys. Almost every home that I go into has a Switch. So those people know, oh, look, the Switch 2's out. They're not going to be asking themselves, what is this next console from Nintendo? No, they already know. They already know it's the Switch 2. The next Switch. That's it. I wish it would have called the Super Nintendo Switch, but whatever. And then it reminds me, I think back at a time, you know, way back in the 80s and 90s when the NES, when the generation from NES to Super NES. It reminds me of what's going on right now. The NES was great. It changed gaming forever. It brought back gaming. Just like the Switch did. It brought back this hype for gaming, right? The NES did. And then all they did is add a Super onto it, made a better controller, gave us 16-bit graphics. We already loved the NES. We just wanted a little bit something more. And that's exactly what it is. Very, very smart. And yes, that was a different time in gaming, but it was also very smart they did that. There was no huge, evolution in gaming at the time. It wasn't a massive leap. Yes, it was better for sure. The music was better. 16-bit graphics was much better than 8-bit. But it wasn't a massive leap like you see from 2D to 3D. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Being that the market is so weird, you know. Xbox is not doing very good. They're all over the place. Watch my most recent video I posted. I'll leave it in the card at the end of the video, but they're not doing very well. It's a weird time in gaming. Even PS5's doing just okay. You know, they just released the PS5 Pro, which I think was kind of stupid in my opinion, and it's really expensive. It's a weird time for gaming right now, and there's a lot of people talking about the downfall of gaming, like possibly, you know, just not being the same market anymore. But I think that's what Switch 2 is going to do. I mean, hear me out, guys. I really do believe that. And yes, I'm being a Nintendo fanboy like crazy right now. But I think that's what Switch 2 is going to do. It's going to bring that excitement back. You know, the developers and publishers are going to get excited to put their game on Switch 2. I've heard that a few times from different content creators, that developers and publishers are really looking forward to the Switch 2. Their games are going to run better. You know, they're going to have better frame rates, better resolution. And maybe that's all we need this generation. Maybe that's it. Maybe we don't need some sort of cool gimmick from Nintendo. But, I mean, we might. I'm just saying, but maybe we don't need one. Maybe we just need a better, more powerful Switch. You know, well, what will happen to the Switch 1, though? I think a lot of us, you know, true Nintendo fans will hold on to their Switch 1s. Because it's still a great console. I don't think that a lot of us are going to get rid of our Switch 1s. I know for me, I got the Zelda OLED. I'm going to hold on to that. I have a Switch Lite that I have an OLED screen put on. I'm gonna keep that. You know, but I definitely want a Switch 2 because I want the more power. And I want a bigger screen. And I want my Joy-Cons to not fall off when I'm playing in handheld mode. You know, and I'm excited for the next generation Nintendo console. And I think that's all it really needs to be right now. I don't think it needs to be this huge evolution in gaming, because that's not where the market is right now. Nintendo's playing it very smart by releasing Switch 2. We know we're getting into. They're not calling it a whole nother name. It's not a whole nother evolution in gaming. It's just the Switch 2. They could have called it a Switch Pro, like I said, or a Super Nintendo Switch, and been just fine. This is the next generation Switch. Not next generation whatever Nintendo console, right? It's the next Switch. And that makes me excited. And that's why I'm claiming right now that Switch 2 will be Nintendo's most successful console ever. Think about from like the PS1 to the PS2. The PS2 is the best-selling console ever made, right? PS1 did something really great for Sony. And there's a lot of great games on there. A lot of fans of the PS1. A lot of them. And then PS2 came out. That's all they needed to do. Change, bring us a more powerful console. That's all they needed to do at that time. And I think that's what Nintendo's doing. They're like, look, our fan base is massive. We're almost the #1 console ever, with the Switch. Just make the Switch better. Just bring it, to us with better graphics, better Joy-Cons, maybe a little gimmick here and there if the players want it. But don't go too crazy. And I think that's what we're going to see. If the console does hold up as far as power goes and things like that, and if they can bring it to the market at a reasonable price, I don't think it'll be anything over $400. I think it'll be right at $400 because of inflation. Everything has gone up. Rent's gone up. Food's gone up. Eggs have gone up. Okay, folks? The Switch 2 will be more than likely a $400 console. I mean, they're selling the Switch OLED right now for $350. So, come on. But I don't think that's, I think that's pretty reasonable, honestly. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. If I am just, off my rocker, if I don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Let me know down in the comments, because every comment means something to me. Even if it's a rude one and people are like, you know what, dude, stop doing YouTube. I don't care. I like talking about video games, okay? I think it's fun, and I think this is going to be a great era for Nintendo fans. I'm excited. I'm excited to see my channel grow with this new console coming. I'm getting a new game room. It's going to be like a dark, moody game room. It's going to look sick. I'm getting new lighting. I'm going to paint the walls black. It's going to look dope. I'm going to be back on camera. I can't wait to join the next generation of gamers and content creators going forward. So anyways, guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.